how did you get hooked up with Jack Endino to record your first album?
My friend Sluggo came to our first show and like progressively saw us, probably half a dozen times and like thought we were really great. He has a band called the Grannies in San Francisco, and he had just recorded with Jack and had known Jack from, for years, before that. And basically he wanted us to, hook up through Jack, and he wanted to put out the record through, Dead Teenager, which was his label a while back. So it was all a process with Sluggo hooking us up. And Jack liked us a lot.
Yeah, I think I read a quote somewhere where this was like the best album since Bleach that he worked on.
Yeah, that's kind of terrifying.
Very terrifying.
So anyway, going up to Seattle and recording up there, how did that work? It sounded like you recorded your album in about 8 days. Did you just do it all in one stint, or did you break it up?
I think we did everything.
We kind of set up and just all played.
Yeah, I think it was we
basic
went up
tracks.
there, and it was like 6 days to try to get as much as we could done in 6 days, and then ran out of time, and basically I had to fly back up and do some vocal tracks and mix.
How did you play the songs in the studio? Did you play it kind of live in the room?
Yeah.
And then go back and,
We were all.
I was in a separate room. I kept getting hit by the door every time Jack would come in. And to get to adjust any like drum stuff, he had like door would fly open and whack into me. And
Jack's definitely the absent-minded professor.
Yeah, I was like,
I didn't see you there.
he didn't like my gear, so basically like set up this other bass rig for me, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And also it was kind of embarrassing. He's like, oh, I need some with the bass. He picked up my bass. He's like, is this intonated?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. And he like started intonating my bass.
The
and I was, like,
first
so
thing
embarrassed.
Jack did was like fix all of our equipment.
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
He's like, your drums aren't tuned.
yeah, I've
I
been
know
there
that.
before. How interesting. So he spent a little bit of time going over your gear with you and getting it tuned
it was
up.
actually really cool though. I mean, it kind of upped the ante for me. I was like a little clueless, I think, at that point.
It was one of those funny things is we got there, and we're a bit panicked because we had no idea what the hell we were getting to. I think I was the only one who had met Jack at this point, and it was pretty much almost a day and a half before we actually had a conversation with him, because his thing was like right from the get-go, we just had our stuff set up, and like he just went into it like miking things and fixing things and dialing things in, and it was like just beeline for it. It's just like no chit chat, no like formalities whatsoever, just like get work done, period. That's how Jack was when we first met him. And then about a day later, we figured out he was actually kind of a interesting guy.
He was really nice. He
made us listen to a lot of Budgie.
Yeah, he did.
Really? Is that I just recently got into that band myself. The only thing I can say about that band is their CDs are so damn expensive.
Oh yeah, all the import stuff. Yeah,
you got to order an import, but it's worth it.
Jack had the box set. He brought it was like this.
Maybe that's the cheaper way to go. So were there other bands that he would have you listen to? Did he try to craft your sound, or did he just try to refine it a little bit?
No, he basically just wanted to sound good for what we had, and then he would suggest things, but never was like very like he wasn't like a producer,
right.
but he would definitely like if he thought something would sound better a certain way, he would
didn't
go that way.
force anything. He just kind of let us go, but he wasn't. He'd be honest when he say, "I think you can do that better,"
or that's just really awful.
Yeah.
Let's do something else. There. Let's see what we can figure out.
Let's not waste any time. Let's get this done.
Yeah. Yeah. Or if we were like, stuck somewhere and we couldn't figure out what to do, then that's when he would step in. Like
if I was playing too fast, he would give me some pot.
Is that what he did? So, any other memorable thoughts about the recording of that first album?
Who stopped by the studio?
Mark Arm, right?
Yeah.
And Nick didn't want to let him in.
I didn't know who he was. He's like knocked on the door, and I'm like, well, I opened it a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here to see Jack." I'm like,
"Well, who are you?"
He's just like, "Let me in, dude." Okay.
He's like, "I'm not messing around."
Yeah. Well, Jack's in a new studio now, and we went up when we recorded these new songs for the next record, his assistant was Scotty Crane, who was Bob Crane's son from Hogan's Heroes.
Oh,
Bob
really?
Crane.
Interesting.
And Bob Crane was a drummer, and he had
Yeah, I
his
didn't
kit
remember.
there, so I got to use some of his drums on the
That's
on the next
pretty
record.
crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really
Bob
weird.
Crane's haunted drum set.
The spirit of Bob Crane. So
There's a video camera in it.
is his studio still called Reciprocal Recording? Is that what it is?
Actually, Reciprocal was. It wasn't. I don't think it was ever his per se.
Oh, he was just an engineer there.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
And that went under quite a while ago.
Yeah.
He's been in charge of this place called Soundhouse up there,
Okay.
which is he like lives basically on premises. So.
Yeah.
Like it has a like a huge house attached to it, and it's like a really nice studio.
We actually helped him move.
Yeah, we helped him move.
Well, I have you guys here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now that we're friends, you can help me move.
yeah. High and Fire recorded there. Not this newest record, but the record before that, they recorded with him there. I know the Posies recorded there, like the last couple of records, or one record there.
Do you have any quirks that you could describe for us about Jack? Yeah, you described
I
him as a
remember
medic.
the first show we did as his backing band was down here in San Francisco, and then we were all going to get in a van together and go up to Seattle for a show. And we were getting in the van for this long drive, and he turns to me and said, I don't like to listen to music or anything when we're driving. I was like, this is a 12-hour drive, Jack. But he had tons of stories about people we've all heard of
Yeah.
that I can't say, but
Yeah.
it was fine.
Yeah.
I laughed for 12 hours.
Well, so you had something to entertain you. That's good.
Yeah, he's got lots of stories.
I'm trying to remember who it was that. I think it was one of the guys from Santa Grill that said, "Don't let Jack go in the cereal aisle at a grocery store." Like, don't, if he like starts turning over packages to read the ingredients, like just run, man. 'Cause you'll be there forever.
If you want to make him happy, you can give him wheat thins and ginger ale.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what he lives on. Steady diet.
Music Life Radio.
Stories at the intersection of